Hi there. Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast with me, Russell Davis. This week we're diving into the archive, this time from July 24. And it's a subject that often comes up, experienced by many people, and that's worry and anxiety. I used to be riddled with fear and anxiety. So in this episode, we explore what really causes anxiety and how you can be free from it in a more loving, compassionate way. Let's dive in and find out. I want to talk about our relationship with worry and anxiety. And looking back, even as a kid, I was, what people call a conscientious child. I always got my homework in on time and wanted to do my best. And as I progressed, through GCSEs, then A-levels and onto university, and it was a tough course I did. It was very intense. I guess it wasn't until then I realised how I was anxious about keeping up. I was anxious about doing well enough. There's a lot of kind of imposter syndrome going on that created a lot of noise in my head and overthinking and worry whether I was good enough. And I was pretty stressed through my finals. And I started my career. And I didn't have any exams to do. But again, I felt, worried about what people thought about me. And in reality, I didn't have much or anything really to worry about. But I still had a very busy mind. I feel it's hard just to have joy of peace and flow. I lived a lot in my head. And it wasn't until, my mid-30s, and my wife and I going through this infertility journey, I really began to be more self-aware of my own mindset and how I was often living in my head. Being married highlighted that. My wife, early in our relationship stage, she's quite lonely in our relationship because I lived in my head a lot. And I think part of me saw my thinking as a badge of honour for a number of reasons. One is I was proud, I was a good thinker. I could think things through, I could solve problems. But also I thought it stopped me being irrational or emotional. I was quite proud of the fact that I was quite calm. I thought quite grounded. But I think it was an avoidance of feeling calm rather than a true grounded feeling calm, which I feel far more connected to. I began to be more aware that I was a worrier. And I began to see that as almost my identity. My mum was a worrier, I'm a worrier, it's just who I am. So I've gone from thinking this overthinking was a badge of honour, that it created all my success. I was conscientious, I thought things through, to actually realising I worried even I didn't need to worry. So it must have been my personality type, my DNA. And it wasn't until my own kind of personal journey, got my own support, therapist and coach, I realised how it was my thinking. It wasn't the situations that created my worry. It was my habit of thinking. And it wasn't even my DNA. It was a habit. It was a thought habit because I wasn't born with it. No one was born a worrier. We learn it. So I began to be aware that I had this habit, and I could begin to see where it came from. As a child, the way my mum was, she's very anxious herself, a lot of fear and anxiety and stress, and she became an alcoholic, so quite irrational in many ways. What I learned was that I had to make sure I was good enough. It was down to me. I also learned why I couldn't trust she's got my back. Home didn't really feel like a safe place. No physical kind of danger, but emotionally, psychologically, it didn't feel safe. And we don't feel safe. We end up having a busy mind trying to work out what we need to do, who we need to be, what we need to create to feel safe. And if we create this kind of self-protection thinking, it's down to me. I need to do it. We can swing. And I can see how I've swung from one end of the scale to the other in my life. It can be, it's all down to me. We try too hard. You can't trust anyone. It's that kind of self-protection. Or we can swing the other end of the scale. Just like being like a victim. Save me. I had this kind of relationship with God in that way. That it's down to me. I need to prove I'm good enough. It's all down to me. Can't trust this world. In fact, I experienced this world as a place of judgment. It's down to me to avoid judgment, to show I'm good enough, to prove I'm good enough. Got to earn people's love and trust or respect. Or go the other end of the scale, feeling like a victim. Because it's all down to me doesn't really work. We're looking in the wrong place for happiness, peace, calm, flow. It's I'm okay when, I'm okay if. We end up looking in the wrong place, so we never get there. So we throw our toys at the pram. Then, I can't do this. I feel like a victim. Life is against us. Very much felt that on our fertility journey. I felt unfair. I felt like a victim. Because I felt I was doing good things. I was being a good boy, being a good man. And still all these things happened. So life felt very unfair. And I was waiting to be saved. I was waiting for this God I'd learned so much about to save me. Because I felt abandoned. Because I felt abandoned as a child. So I swung from, it's all down to me, I'm going to prove I'm worth it, to, I can't do this, save me. It's not fair. And somewhere in the middle, there's a sweet spot, the flow. And for me, that flow is realizing we are okay. We've got nothing to prove. We are okay, we've got nothing to prove to anyone. We can stop trying so hard. We are safe. We are safe. And I do believe there's an energy behind life that's loving and kind and got our back. It took me a while to really to sense that, to feel that. I may have known that intellectually, although the Christianity I grew up with, the churchmanship I grew up with, talked about judgment as well, which I guess prevented me from really feeling that unconditional love, which reminded me of my mum and childhood experiences. So recognizing actually we are okay. We've got nothing to prove to anyone. We're worthy and lovable for who we are. For who we are. And we co-create our life with the energy of life that's got our back. Now we begin to have a different relationship with myself. Different relationship with my thinking. I used to resent my thinking. It was my thinking that stopped me being happy. It was my thinking that stopped me being in flow. How do I stop it? I started to resent it, which meant I started to think about my thinking. I had worry or anxiety, then resentment on top of that, then frustration on top of that. You stack more and more on it. I began to learn more self-compassion. Okay, I'm worried right now, full stop. It's a habit. There's nothing I need to do about it. It doesn't mean anything. I can allow it. I can just allow it. And it settles. Our mind's like a snow globe. It just settles all on its own. Like a toddler comes out of tantrum, all on their own, soon forgotten. It's a self-correcting system. I began to relate to my worry and anxiety and more we label as negative emotions, more like with the way we do naturally with our positive emotions. We feel happiness or joy or excitement. We have nothing on it. We just feel it. We allow it. We don't be thinking about it. We just allow it and it moves on. What if we have the same relationship with our worry? I think true freedom is not never feeling worry. We begin to realize true freedom is not caring whether you feel worry, not taking any meaning from it. See it for what it is. The habit I learned in childhood that is based upon misunderstandings. I've continued it through innocent habit. Innocent habit. And I've been almost my whole life trying to get back to this feeling of home. When I say get back, I often didn't feel that growing up. I guess maybe I did when I came into the world. Babies are just pure innocence. As long as they're fed on water, they're just content. This innate feeling of home. I'm safe, I'm okay. As we go through life, we start interpreting situations and things around us, and we pick up other people's thoughts and beliefs that drown out that innate feeling of home, okay. And I felt life was a maze. I tried to work out how to get to the middle. The middle is this feeling of home. What's the life I need to create to feel home? What's the path? What do I need to do? Trying to constantly work out what the right thing to do is to get back to feeling home. And I had an insight one day, realised I was home. I was in the middle of the maze looking out. I was in the middle of the maze looking out there already. I just didn't think I was. My habitual thinking thought I wasn't. But I am. We all are. We're born home. We are home. When we stop thinking about our thinking, stop managing our state of mind, allows us just to be. We're home. And it's from this place of home we have peace, flow, creativity, insights. We can create amazing things. It's a place to come from, not a place to get to. You're home. Welcome home.